some really interesting news that came out of South Florida. So we've talked about the PK Race Park, which is getting set to be built about 15 minutes north of Palm Beach International Raceway in the West Palm Beach area. It's already open and operational for a number of different things. They have kind of like the yard go-karts with the roll cages on like a dirt rally course that you can go and rent. They have paintball. They have like a racing museum. But the mainstay of that racetrack is to be a rental and owner karting performance pro track. I think it's supposed to be about 1.1 miles in length, something like 19 or 20 turns. I mean, it looks like I think it's a small intestine that goes back and forth, Aaron. I might be wrong, man. I've been out of school for too long. I promise, Mom, I don't remember I do remember what I learned in school in my degree, but I don't have a science degree. But no, in all seriousness, it's a track that makes really good use of the space. They've already started, I believe, slight bits of paving. They were clearing the place out at the beginning of March and getting ready to pave it by leveling and getting the dirt all ready to go and the layout down. So I know their plan is to pave over the summer, hopefully maybe be open for testing as soon as the fall. And I know that their kind of marquee goal was to start trying to get a bid in for the Florida Winter Tour in 2023, the SCUSA Winter Series in 2023, maybe talk to either one of those promotional groups to get national racing going down there, along with a major club series, which is good because you've got 4 hours from Homestead, Miami Speedway and AMR Motorplex all the way up to Orlando Kart Center. We obviously lost Ocala Grand Prix, which is an hour north, but that's a big window that could easily have that has, a bunch of major cities from Miami to Fort Lauderdale to West Palm Beach, and then obviously all the way up to Orlando. Bushnell Motorsports Park's kind of in the middle, but it's more central Florida. But even then, I mean, that's a really untapped market, that kind of northern part of South Florida that PK is looking to get into. And there hasn't been karting run at West Palm Beach Palm Beach International Raceway in a long, long time. But then now, of course, that was after the rental karting fatality they had a few years ago. Now the whole track is and has been under sale, and there is a pending sale going through to turn it into a warehouse facility. But social media, again, just like we were talking about earlier, of the people trying to make changes happen and to trying to, let their will be known and let their support be known. There is a major, major campaign that I picked up this week that has actually a couple major news websites picking up on it. This article we found on racingjunk.com that came out back about 5 days ago on April 14th, highlighting a Save Palm Beach International Raceway campaign. So this campaign, there was obviously a lot of social media, not outrage, but kind of sadness and remorse because they saw the sale coming through this track, along with having the go-kart track, which was kind of turned into an autocross facility after the go-karting stuff was kind of put on hold and the subleasers were sent out with the whole thing that went down, which is a very sad and messy and unfortunate incident. It still hosted plenty of car, whether it's track days, the IndyCar, and mainly the Road to Indy and minor league Formula Car teams would go test there, sports car testing there on the performance car track, which you can see on the screen. Slightly to the left of the car track, there's a drag strip. They'd host drag racing and, allow kind of run what you brung, Friday night drag, hangout car shows almost weekly. So this was a mainstay in the Palm Beach community and West Palm Beach community for a long, long time. I mean, this track has gone through a few ownership changes. It's decades old. And so, beyond the karting people that are obviously sad about losing the karting side, now this whole track is set to go through with a sale to become a warehouse facility and to get completely demolished. And so there was slowly building, and it looked like maybe the trail had gone cold for a little while. But this article that just came out about 5 days ago on racingjunk.com said while contracts to sell have already been signed, a movement's begun where the Street Outlaws TV show has recently been filming, obviously, at the drag strip. Again, like I mentioned, IndyCar teams, Road to Indy teams, F4 and F3 US teams often use the 2-mile road course for winter testing. So this Save Palm Beach Raceway movement, with all these big names that have still been coming here over the last few years, has really taken hold. In fact, now there's some major names attached to this group that are trying to do what they can and maybe make a bid to kind of, I don't know, whether that's buy the racetrack or in some way get in. The contracts have already been signed. The track's set to be sold, but they're having a hearing on April 28th for the zoning commission that's going to discuss a proposal to clear and fully go through with the demolishing of the racetrack. So there's still some time before this fully can go through. They're trying to get it zoned for that $2.1 million square foot warehouse. But to give you an idea of the names that have gotten behind the Save Palm Beach Raceway movement, McLaren Racing CEO Zac Brown, Pitbull, John Oates from Hall & Oates, IndyCar champion Danny Sullivan, major star power that have gotten behind this Save Palm Beach Raceway campaign. And I don't know if all of them will be in attendance. I can't imagine that Zac Brown or Pitbull will be at a Palm Beach zoning commission, but I'm sure their people will be making their voices known there and making their voices heard, and trying to do what they can to save something for the community. And obviously, the main argument that anyone has whenever a racetrack goes down is that the racing's still gonna happen, but now it's gonna happen on the streets, whether that's drag racing, people going in street racing, and so on. And then you have just a lot more danger and crime, street racing crime, but unsafe roads and stuff like that. And racetracks encourage people to not race on the streets and come to a purpose-built, safe venue with insurance and properly run facilities. So it's something to keep an eye on. If you want the link, I'll make sure to put the link in the comment section during this commercial break. But I thought it was something really cool because you see these campaigns, you see everyone comment on Facebook when these articles come out of a track getting sold or a track getting shut down or rumors of that. But super cool to see Pitbull, to see Zac Brown, again, IndyCar champ Danny Sullivan, John Holtz from All in Oats, and more joining this kind of push to try and do what they can to save the raceway, whether they buy the track, whether they find an investor to buy the track. I don't know where this ends up, but I think it's definitely noteworthy, and it would be really cool because if it does come under new ownership, that Kart track is still there. It's going to need some loving. It's probably going to need some major patchwork and maybe a resurfacing. But if the right owner came through, we could get that racetrack back, have the PK race park, and all of a sudden we go from 0 tracks in that kind of Palm Beach West Palm Beach area of Florida back up to not just 1, but 2 in a matter of, I don't know, the next couple of years. So exciting stuff. Super cool to see these guys making this impact. And it's something I wanted to touch on.